Okay. So we got a couple issues so far. Coming out of base, the D shield's fine. I like that. You take it pretty much every game. Then you immediately level up your Q, which is really autopilot. Because there may be a situation where you actually don't want the Q. Like, let's say there's some kind of invade, maybe taking E is better or whatever. You should wait until you actually need to use the ability before you level it. And then you run to turret. It's better if you go to this brush, because when you run to turret, you're not actually getting any vision. You're just standing here, and so if they decide to invade through here, you have no idea. Which can really screw over your jungler.
I think I was like cooking something. I may have been cooking something. So I was like, I don't want to be not under turret.
Yeah. Okay. Going into this lane, first thing you should always consider is who has control over the wave early. You or Malphite?
Me?
Yeah. Yep. And so you should be playing accordingly. Your Kayn starting bot. Vi will figure out soon enough where she's starting. But yeah, you should be the one pushing in this lane. Now, I say that, but you're pushing too fast. So, actually, let me even go back this far. So when you go into this skim, did you have a game plan on what you wanted to do with the waves, or were you just kind of hitting the minions?
I usually just hard push like the first couple waves so I can get two. If I can touch the wave.
Okay. So there's an issue with that thought process. One, if you hard shove, yes, you'll hit level 2 first in this matchup, but you can't do anything with it because he's under turret. Because you push too fast.
True.
Since these 6 minions, they don't matter towards level 2. It doesn't matter if you kill them instantly or if you kill them slightly before the next wave gets here. Doesn't matter. What does matter is the timing at which you kill that first minion of that second wave. So instead, I would rather you be just last hitting these minions. That way the wave stays closer towards the middle, and then when you hit level 2, you have some room to actually chase him. And I don't know if you're typing notes or not, but I'm recording this so you don't gotta like type it out.
Okay.
Okay. So here we do get the level 2. Get some trades, great. And then right here, so this is the minion that we get level 2 off of right here. Since you know that, standing here is very pointless. It's better if you're standing here so that as soon as this minion gets low, you're closer to him. But when you're killing this minion now, you can't trade with him because he's too far back. But if you were right here, he can't walk up to last hit this minion. Then you have to like run through the minions, and then yeah, you just can't reach him. Then we push the wave. Now again, we're pushing faster than I would like. And here's the problem. So what I initially wanted was you slow push the first wave and the second wave, You can play off your level 2, that's fine. But you just slow push, and then on the third wave, so after this point, they would be meeting more like right here instead of close to his turret, and then you could crash it as fast as possible, and then he has to deal with the wave. There are multiple benefits to this, and we'll let you clear this wave first. So you end up getting it, it's just not as big of a wave as it should be. But you get this wave, and then, okay, we got some issues. So again, we're missing some intent that we're supposed to have. When you're crashing this third wave, you have multiple options depending on what the junglers are doing. Since your jungler is here, since he started on bot side, he's going to be looking to play for the crab, and so you should be immediately walking down and making sure he gets the scuttle crab. If Vi decides to show up, then you win the fight because Malphite's too busy dealing with this giant wave under his turret. If instead, let's say your Kayn was starting blue side, like you leashed for him and then he went to bottom side, then you wouldn't need to help him with Scuttle Crab, and you could recall and come back with an item. Are you familiar with the term cheater recall?
Yeah. Wait, what item would I buy? Because I usually try to buy the whip first so I can clear and rock my base rush.
Yeah,
So
you do like to get whip, sure.
No.
But you don't have to buy it all at once. Like, you don't have to get pickaxe on your first back. Because if you recall, assuming the Kayn started top and went to bot side, if you recall right now, you have 462 gold. So you could go back, you could buy a cull, or you could buy boots or fillable potion. I don't really care what you buy, that's not the point. The point is that you crash this wave, and since it's a cannon wave with a bunch of extra minions, it's going to take Malphite a while to crash this, so it's going to come back, waves right here, and he can't play the game because you kill him if he tries to get any XP. Since you're back full HP with an item advantage. Which is far more valuable than trying to stay in lane just so you can get that perfect 1,100 gold purchase. Anyway. And so now this wave is going to slow push back into you because you crashed it. And this ward is how I knew that you had the wrong idea. Because if you were playing around Scuttle, or if you even just realize what's going to happen with the wave here, you would understand you don't need this ward. You only need this ward if you plan to push into your opponent, so like you're extended up here and then Vi comes through here or whatever. But if the wave's pushing into you, you don't have to walk up. But now you're just really far up, you continue to push over and over, and then we have some little fight here that's not in any way calculated. We get the crash. We do the exact same thing again, now we have no wards.
This Malphite was really bad.
Yeah, well, I could tell you that from Champ's Light. The dude took Aftershock. He can't even proc it outside of using his ult. Wait, which, yeah. And because this Malphite is playing the way he is, if you had cheater recalled, or not even cheater recalled, but if you just, like, let the wave push back into you, then he's so screwed. So I know you weren't supposed, or I mentioned you weren't supposed to cheater recall this game since Kayn was topside, but still. If you're playing the waves correctly, this dude's very screwed. Okay, so you get the dive. Cool. Ah, we're overstaying. Okay, so when you decide to stay, one, you've already crashed the wave. Malphite's coming back. You have 1,900 gold roughly. What?
Or I thought he was gonna TP, so then that's why I backed then. But then he didn't end up TPing, so that's why I decided to push him.
Okay, why does this TP change it?
I don't know.
Okay, so then
Sorry,
yeah,
what were you saying?
the TP doesn't make a difference. Whether he TPs or not, you still want to be recalling earlier. And you crashing this wave doesn't do anything if he does TP. What does matter is that you recall so that you can get back to lane as fast as possible. You have 1,900 gold. If you kill this wave, your purchase doesn't change because you are not going to have 2,200, which is your ideal Iron Spike and boots. So staying here doesn't matter. If you were getting Iron Spike and boots, then I can understand you wanting to stay here. Okay. Yep. Purchase is fine. Okay. So here we want to slow push the wave. And we immediately start shoving. Okay. Yeah, and I know this is going to be a common trend because you even said at the beginning you just hard shove constantly. So, reason we don't want to shove. I don't think Vi showed on the map recently. And even if she did, I doubt you saw her. Yeah, so she hasn't shown on the map. You don't know where Vi is. And you don't have any wards. Because you burned them earlier. Using them at the wrong time. So if you push, you're going to end up here and you're going to be prone to getting ganked. But if you slow push, just last hitting, then you're going to be much safer because you'll be like right here the whole time. And then once you get a really big wave, you can just crash it immediately and leave. Instead of what's going to happen is where you shove this really hard, and then if Vi was here, it would become a problem. Now, you may say, oh, well, Vi's not here, so it's not that big of a deal. Well, even if Vi's not here, if you know she's bottom and you slow push this wave, the wave is bigger, and then you could potentially look for a dive with Kane. But, yeah, we don't have that at all. You go and you clear this. This is fine. Okay, I don't know what that was. Like, it's fine to kill the wave and then go look for Malphite. I don't know why you ran into turret. That was a bit weird. Okay. The ward here is good because you're looking to dive Malphite, so this is fine. Although, yeah, you do have to keep in mind Vi. We're overstaying. Yeah. The reason I said you're overstaying is because you haven't actually seen Vi leave the lane. So you do this, run around a little bit, she shows here, you're not looking, and then, okay. She walks in this brush, and your immediate thought should be, okay, I need to recall, because if I don't respect this, I'm going to end up dying.
Kane was pinging on his way, so I was like...
Yeah. I get that. But you also have to realize, if you look at his items, he has nothing.
Oh, yeah.
He has nothing for items, and he's level 5. This is not supposed to work. But if we go off Fog of War, she's full HP with red buff, blue buff. She's recalling, and then just kind of watches. She just let the poor homie die. But yeah, if she went in immediately, this would not have been nearly as easy. And he just happened to hit level 6 conveniently there. Off the kill. But, yeah. That was very coin flip. Okay. Get the plate. Oh, we're greeting for the wave.
Like, what if he pings on the way and then I just recall? And he goes in anyway?
Okay, so you start your recall, you spam careful ping him. If he ints anyway, then he ints. Because it's better for him to int than you both to die if I plays correctly.
Sure. how I survived that.
Yeah, you should not have survived here, but okay. You're following Sunlight's build, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says it proxy, or I notice he proxied a lot too, so that's why I try to proxy.
Yeah, okay. Yes, but he has reasons for when he proxies. You have to make sure that you understand like where everyone is and you're not just proxying to proxy. There has to be an intent behind it. Like if Vi is potentially top, then proxying becomes a lot worse than if you see her here, for example, and you're looking to set up a dive, something like that. I'm not convinced on his whole zeal before finishing Stridebreaker, but it's whatever.
I actually think it's so good. Wait, why don't you think it's good?
I would just rather hurry to my mythic so I can get the stupid trade where you QE Stridebreaker. Okay. Yep, he uses Herald. You get turret. Cool. Get another turret and you leave. Yep. Yep. Did you just flash? What? Come on now.
I failed my flash. I was trying to flash the wall.
But why? You don't need to flash. What is he gonna do?
Yeah, that was fun.
Okay. Yeah, so you kill raptors. Kill Vi. Yeah, we're chilling. Okay. We recall. Great. Spend our gold. Yep. Standard build. Okay. Even though the lead was not built in a proper manner and it could be a larger lead, it is a lead to work with nonetheless. So we'll see what happens with that. Okay. Fighting Malphite. Oh boy. Okay.
I ulted the wrong person.
Yeah. I know the feel. But okay. So we see 3 here. Vi is missing at the time. You leave. Now, your pathing is what doesn't make sense to me. Because you shouldn't even be going into their jungle as soon as you see the 2 are dead and they go missing on the map. So then you're like, okay, I just recall. But you weren't looking at the map. You were running through here. And then, yeah, you end up getting caught. You also could still get out if you just left, but you went in for the fight. 1 for 1 is not worth.
If I ulted the right person, I could have doubled him.
Well, yeah, if you ult the Vi, you kill her. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But 1 for 1's not worth. You still die. If you ult Vi here, it's still the same situation of you're going to end up dying to the rest of them. And you give up your shutdown gold. Okay, so we're back up. Get the model reminder. And we're running top. Yep. Okay, got another issue with hard shoving. Okay. You asked me earlier about playing around dragons, and I said it's relative to timing. So in this case, I do think you should be playing for dragons, because you have a lead and you'd be very helpful in the 5v4. But you're not setting up the situation to do it properly. Your whole goal is to crash this wave between 30 to 45 seconds before the dragon spawns. That way, someone has to go and clear the wave, and they don't have time to run over to dragon. At the minimum, you get Malphite's TP. But look what happens when you shove it. instead of slow pushing a couple waves. You're leaving too early, and so Malphite has time to clear the waves, and then he can just walk. I mean, he stayed longer than he should have, but you gotta make sure you're actually crashing it at the right time. Okay. Now let's actually look at the approach to the fight. We lack vision. Malphite left because he can. And then yeah, you just get caught by the Malzarl. You have to wait for your teammates, but you're so split apart. And then you lose the fight. Yeah. This is just a matter of pathing. Like you just don't run straight into the brush when Malzar is visible.
Wait, where do I run? Yeah. Just run back.
You just kind of chill here until your teammates can get closer. You're not in a great situation regardless because everyone's getting here late, including yourself. So you might end up having to give the dragon, but you make it worse by running into Malzar.
So I should be getting here like 30 seconds until dragon, not 10?
Correct. Well, yeah. Like, you want to be here at least 20 seconds before it spawns. Or, well, 15 to 20. To the top laner doesn't have to get there as early as everyone else, but you do want to be there to make sure that you can actually help them. Because if you get here really late, like you are, if you're here a little bit earlier, then you can actually walk up and try to get some vision or set up a pick. But you don't have time to set up picks now because you're just too late. Anyway. Team fight. Yep. Hopefully you're building Force of Nature.
Yeah, I should have. I think I should have built the second. Wait, no. Never mind. That was the other game. The other game I should have built the second, I think. Oh, fiber.
Hmm. No, don't go in. What are you doing? Okay. Alright. So there's a few issues. One, you don't want to fight right now. You want to avoid 5v5s whenever possible because your team's so behind. But also, what are you trying to do by going in here? What's your goal?
Trying to get Jinx's shutdown. Something.
Okay.
Shutdown goal.
Right. So you're going for Jinx. But she's got 3 people on her, and your teammates are all here. And if you just don't fight them at all, you're in a pretty good position. Reason being, this Herald's going to kill Inhib, and you want this to happen. Because when it kills Inhib, well, assuming they kept hitting it. Because I think that's what you really were doing. I don't think you were going in to kill Jinx. I think you were going in because you didn't want them to kill this Inhib, and you just happened to see that, ooh, Jinx is fed.
Oh, yeah, true.
Because them killing this Inhib is good for you, since you're going to get the siege minions, which is an extra 90 gold every wave. And it's going to allow you to scale back up while your team's behind. If you don't let them kill this Inhib, then it's going to be really, really difficult to get back into the game because you don't have that extra gold. And yeah, they end up killing it anyway.
Or should I? Do you think I could have kept splitting, or should I always like that when they have Herald?
I think I missed part of that. Repeat that.
Wait, should I have continued kind of like kept split pushing there, Or should I like have always backed when they spawn Herald? And they're pushing this
Yeah,
way?
when they spawn the Herald, you have to recall. It depends. Like, if they're gonna get inhib, whether you recall or not, and they can't do anything more, then you stay. But if you don't recall, they end up taking like one of your turrets, then you do have to recall, which I think is the case. If you don't show up there, then I do think they threaten a turret. So yeah, I think you should recall. Just to make sure you don't just insta lose the game. Okay, they get Baron. And then the game's pretty much over. Because, yeah, a couple people die. So, yeah. Biggest issue by far is your understanding of wave management. Everything else will kind of come after that. Because, like, your mid and late game, I'm not saying it was great, I'm not saying it was bad. It's just like, it doesn't matter your mid game or late game if you can't even lane properly with wave management. So that should be your focus for now. Just not constantly shoving on autopilot and actually think about why you're pushing or whether you should let them push into you, etc.
Okay. That's funny, because I thought you were going to say I should focus on the dragon play or something. Or like dragon fighting.
Yeah, no, that matters way less. Because if you're laning how I wanted you to lane, and you come out of lane like at least 6-0 with Malphite really far behind, everything gets so much easier. Because even if it's a bad idea, you're just so far ahead, it'll end up working. Now, obviously, you don't want to have that bad idea, but you start out with the basics at the beginning with things that are much more controllable, and then you work from there. Instead of trying to focus on, oh, I'm in this situation now, what am I going to do? And it's like, well, just don't enter that situation to begin with. It's much easier. Any questions or anything unclear?
Wait, so, yeah, if I don't come out of, like, so there's no way to win the game in the position that I'm in, like, right now? Like,
I'm not saying it's
if
impossible. I'm just saying that it shouldn't be your focus.
Okay.
Like, your focus should not be on how to get out of the situation where you've been kidnapped. Your primary focus should just be not getting kidnapped to begin with. That may not be the greatest analogy, but you don't want to give them the tools to beat you and then try to figure it out after. You should focus on the initial part and then go from there.
Okay, I feel like I can't win lane most of the time with Garen. So what am I supposed to do when I can't win lane, like against Heimer? Like I usually don't.
You can. Well, you can definitely beat Heimer as Garen. But also, you should never assume you can't win lane, because they're silver, you can beat all of them. The main thing with playing into Heimer is you're looking for Stridebreaker. Stridebreaker makes everything easier because you can just combo and very quickly get out while he can't really retaliate. Okay. Man, you must be cooking a lot. Always be hungry at the start of the game. What is it? Jeez, you're looking for a gank before they even clear their first camp. Alright. Respect. I don't know what this is either.
Yeah, I started eating this kind of.
Yeah. This is the complete opposite of what you want. In Heimer, you want this wave to be pushing into you as fast as possible so you can farm under turret. When you shove the wave like this, yeah, it's not good. Although this Heimer is an ape, and so he pushes it back into you. So you get what you're supposed to have anyway. Great. We're farming. Great. We have the minions under turrets. Okay.
I think I went 3 beads this game too.
Yeah, I don't like that. The reason I don't like it, if you're really trying to optimize in a really high elo, I think it's fine. But anyone that's taking through rejuvenation beads is saying at the very start of the game, I'm going to lose lane. It's pretty much what they're saying, and they're just trying to get as much as they can out of selling them, because it's worth more than D-Shield after selling. But I don't want you going into this lane with weaker stats and just playing to not lose when you should be winning lane anyway if you're playing correctly. So I think in the future maybe you can look into that, but for now D-Shield every game is perfectly fine.
Okay. That's a good point.
Here,
What elo would you say is good to start going the beads?
at least diamond. Anything below diamond, at least, it doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah, because everything that you're doing matters way more than this purchase. Like, you're not going in at the right times. So let's see, like right here, you look to Q when you don't actually have the space to get onto him. And instead of realizing that, you just keep forcing the trade into his turret. And now you're pushing the wave, which again you don't want to do. You want this wave to just keep close to you. Because all you want to do into Heimer, the way you beat Heimer is, Garen, is you get the wave on your side, and then either your jungler comes ganks, or you just ghost and kill him. But if you push the wave, and it's close to his turret, you're not killing that dude. He's just going to run under turret, or his 3 turrets, and chill. You have to have room to chase him down.
Oh yeah, try also not go like my runes. I went pretty what the names of them are. The one that heals you when they damage you. I switched to that one when I'm against
Second win?
characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of the other one that gives you armor.
Second one's okay. I don't really care about that. Yeah, if it's a folk matchup, you can go second win. That's perfectly fine. You can just kill this dude. He doesn't have enough mana to actually do anything to you if you just go ham with Ghost. Because your E is going to kill one of these turrets in the process anyway, and then you can look to all in. But regardless, we're going to wait for level 6, I guess. Can still work. As long as you take that into account. Okay. Again, you can just ghost and kill him. He has no mana.
True.
Clear the wave. Great. You didn't W the stun, you get hit by all the turrets. Yeah. So, yeah, you should have been able to kill this Heimer already. Probably twice by now. But you're not seeing your lethal range, especially with you having rejuvenation beads, so you're even weaker than normal. And you're just not confident like your Ghost all in. So yeah, you could kill this Heimer, and that's why I don't like you asking what if you can't beat the laner, because you should be able to beat every laner in your games.